Hi, my name is Bill and I'm a college professor in Dallas, Texas, and today I want to talk a little bit about our current national hero, Gavin Newsom. I think we all know he's going to run for president. There are clear indications. He does have some interesting questions to answer about things that have gone on in California during his governorship, but I've heard him answer a lot of those tough questions on Real Time with Bill Maher, and he's pretty convincing. But here's the reason I'm talking about him today. He has decided to sue, the state of California is going to sue President Trump, the federal government, for deploying the National Guard into Los Angeles over the weekend without the consent of the governor. This is not something that's done. And on top of that, when Trump has subsequently added more threats and insults to the picture, including suggesting perhaps Gavin Newsom should be arrested, Gavin said quite simply, we are then going to withhold the funding that the federal government gets from California. Now, this is not an empty threat. This is actually quite a big threat because unlike the red states, the blue states pay a surplus into the federal government, where the red states, like Texas, we get 25% of our budget as basically donations from the blue states who make up for the fact that we don't tax enough. So California is the fourth largest economy in the world. They pay $80 billion more into the federal government than they get back from the government in benefits. So if Gavin Newsom decides that the state of California is no longer going to fund the federal government, they've got a big problem in Washington, D.C., not to mention the red states that depend on that money, again, like Texas, Alabama, Georgia, Florida. My God, Florida, practically call that a socialist state right there because they don't pay enough taxes. So this is a great way to strike back. Look, one thing we know about confronting a bully is when you confront them and you stand up to them, they tend to go away. They are all talk, they are all bluff, and Trump has shown that over and over again. That's why his new nickname is Taco. Trump always chickens out. When other countries stand up to him on his tariff or whatever he's tweeting today, he goes away. He says, well, never mind, or he says, oh, we won that, but there's no deal. So Gavin Newsom is standing up to him. This is the whole deal. It's not Trump. The news, as I've said here, always wants to talk about Trump. It's the Heritage Foundation. It is Project 2025, and this is textbook. What they did in Los Angeles, making it essentially martial law under the guise of the Insurrection Act, which had nothing to do with what was happening in Los Angeles. I think that's a warm-up for what's going to happen all around the country this weekend on the 14th. When Indivisible and many other groups are joining in a nationwide protest, the No Kings protest. If you Google that, I'm sure there's one near you. And I think what we're going to see is now the federal government deploying the National Guard and federal troops, all with masks, like stormtroopers, and in brown shirts like Nazis, the SS. They're going to try to intimidate people and stop people from protesting. The big, beautiful billionaire buffet that is now struggling in no small part thanks to Elon Musk's sudden turn from the dark side today or yesterday, maybe not tomorrow. It's really struggling, but what that would do is make the president exempt from any federal prosecution. No judge would have any jurisdiction to do anything about anything the president does. And now this is the next step. They don't want us. They don't want the people rising up without the threat of severe consequences. This is what we have to do. You're planning to go to a protest, or if you're not planning to, make plans and go to that protest. But be sure when you're there, if there are ICE officials or federal troops there, National Guard there, don't do anything to cause them to have a reason or an excuse to arrest you or detain you or do anything else. It's a peaceful protest for a reason. Make sure you're peaceful. Have your signs, have your chants, do whatever you want to do. As long as it is peaceful, then there's no reason for them to interfere with what you're doing. What Gavin Newsom is doing is a model for what the rest of the country can do, for what Harvard is doing the same thing, standing up to Trump. When companies like ABC and colleges like Columbia give in to the bully, he just extorts something else from them. Stand up to the bully. Hey, I hope you're all making plans for the Saturday protest, No Kings Day, June 14th. And if you're anywhere in the Dallas area, I might see you there. As always, thanks for watching.